Morning. It's Friday, September 27th. We're almost to the end of the month. Basically, we have Monday, and I believe that'll be the last day of the month. 30th. Yeah, Monday is September 30th. So far, September, as we've talked about, historically speaking, the worst month out of the 12 months of the year for stock performance. But that's not the case this month so far. Where we're at right now, we're basically up about 3.5% for the month. We are down today. Stocks down a bit. Dow's down 85 points at the moment. S&P 500 down about 8 points. Not a big deal, but certainly down. It is Friday. More talks about tapering issues. Chuck Evans, one of the Fed governors, came out today, and he's making a speech in Oslo, and basically said that tapering could be delayed until early in 2014, maybe the January meeting. That's the first time anybody that I've heard of has said that we're not going to start tapering by the end of this year, which is what Bernanke's been telling us. So we'll see how that goes. We only have 2 meetings left. It's actually October and December. I was thinking we had one in November, but we don't. It's actually October 29th and 30th, and December 17th and 18th, I believe, are the next 2 Fed meetings. So it would make sense that if they were going to announce a taper, it'd probably be at one of the 2 meetings. It's always possible that they could come out in November or some off time that doesn't coincide with the Fed meeting and announce a taper, but it's more likely they would do it in an orderly fashion and announce it at a meeting. So we've got October or December are the most likely dates. If we get pushed, could be January. Now, we don't know. That's always a possibility if the economy doesn't respond. So that's on the table. The other issue is probably more relevant or more timely, more short-term timely, which is the budget problem, the raising of the debt ceiling. We're at the end of the U.S. government's fiscal year, and we're about to run out of money very shortly, so we'll see how that goes. But so far, the Obamacare attachment to the bill to raise the limit is the sticking point. The Senate's probably going to send it back to the House minus that. So then we've got a lot of options, whether the Senate sends it back and they can all just go home and basically say pass it or else. The House can change that bill and send it back to the Senate for consideration, or they could even start a completely new separate bill, and that would start the process all over again. Any delays like that are going to mean that we're going to run out of money, and the government will technically shut down, meaning that they won't have enough money to pay all their bills. They'll have to furlough people. The analysis is that depending on the length of time that the government was shut down, it could impact the fourth quarter GDP by as much as 1.4%. So we just got the revised GDP estimate for the last quarter at 2.5%. So it would be basically, if you take that 2.5% annualized rate, you take 1.4% off of that, at least during the fourth quarter, we'd go down from 2.5%, down to 1.1, which would be pretty devastating. Now, with Christmas and everything, we tend to get more economic activity in the fourth quarter. Usually, that was not the case last year, but typically because of Christmas, or the holiday season, I should say, we get more activity in the fourth quarter. If things continue, then maybe that would sort of offset the negative if the government does shut down. They're going to have to raise the debt ceiling. It's just part of the deal. But they should hopefully vote in some matching cost cutting somewhere else, to agree to do that. But it remains to be seen as a complicated issue, so we'll have to wait. But that's why the market's down today, worried a little bit about what's going to happen, whether we're going to shut down or not, and what impact that would have on the economy. Now, if we do have the shutdown, obviously that relates to the tapering issue. We could see tapering extended, or the start to tapering delayed until sometime later next year if it affects the economy. If not raising the debt limit and having a shutdown does affect the economy in a negative way, which it would, that could delay the tapering issue. So we'll keep an eye on it and see how things go.